Hello friends, my name is Ajinkya Hariban. I am the assistant professor at College of Computer Science and Information Technology, Latur. So our college organizes a one-day workshop on how to develop a project by using the C#. .NET. So here we are developing a simple project with by using the C#. .NET. For this for this developing the project, we use two basically software. One for the database to store the value, and second is Visual Studio IDE for making a coding. So first for this project, let's first create a database. For creating a database, I am using here a SQL Server. I'm using here SQL Server Management Studio, that is SQL Server 2008 R2 database for creating a database. So this is a software, or this is a database to create a database. Okay, so here you need to connect to database, that is connect. So in your left hand side, this is a Object Explorer window. So in the Object Explorer window, if you want to create a new database, there is one menu is there, or a tree is there, that is called a database. So right click on this database and click on the new database. So here I am developing a student registration form. Okay, so for this I am taking the database name as a student. Okay, so here the database name is a student. Just okay. So here a database that is student is created. In a student database, there are multiple tables are available. If you want to create a table in a student database, then go to the table tag. Okay, so this is a table. So click, if you want to create a new table, then just click here, right click on the table and click on the new table. So I am creating here a new table, that is first table as a login table. So here I am giving the first column name, that is ID, and data type is as a integer. So second column name is a username, and data type, that is it is a varchar data type, so varchar 50. And third column, that is a password, to store the password, and its data type is varchar 50. So this is a ID, so make it as a first primary key. So how we can assign the primary key to ID field? Select the ID and right click on it and set as a primary key. Okay, so once you set a primary key, uh, make another changes, that is assign a ID, that is auto increment. So our ID field automatically incremented by 1. So how we can assign the auto increment property? So here the one property is there, identity specification. So this is a identity specification. Click on the is identity, click on the yes. Once you click on the yes, the ID should be incremented automatically by 1. Okay, so let right click on the this table, or right click on the tab, that is admin PC student, and save table. So I am providing the table name as a tbl underscore login. So this is my login table. Okay, so create another table for storing the student information. So again I am creating the right click on the table and new table. So here first column is registration number. Okay, so I am here write down the registration number, and its data type is integer, or it should be a varchar. Okay, so varchar 50. Then s name, student name, it should be a varchar. Then email, it should be a varchar. Then provide the contact detail, or that is a student name, email, student address. So varchar, there is a property, if you want to store address, there is another property, that is a varchar max property. Then we use a mobile number. Okay, so student mobile, So this is also I am taking as a varchar varchar 10 or varchar it's a 12. Okay, so student name I am giving I'm forgetting to insert a one record, that is insert column. Here I am inserting here student gender. Okay, so student gender, and I am using here varchar 10. So this is my table, another table for storing the student detail. So again I am right click on this. First assign the primary key to registration number. So select the column registration number and right click on set primary key. So save the table, save, and again I am giving the table name as a table registration. So this is my table. Okay, so in this way we can create a two table, that is first table is a table login and second one table registration. So if you want to insert some data into a table login, then click on the table login, right click and select here edit top 2000 rows, click on this. So I'm providing the username, that is default username as admin, and default password should be admin. Okay, so id field it should be automatically implemented. So in this way you can create a database by using the Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio or Microsoft SQL Server 2008 R2. So this is our A2 table. Okay, so in the next video session we will see how we can configure this database into a Microsoft Visual Studio. Okay, so we will see in the next video. Hello friends, my name is Ajike. So welcome to this video session. In the last video we learned that how we can create a database, or in a database we have already created a two table, that is a table login and table registration. So in this video tutorial we will see how we can configure this database into a Microsoft Visual Studio. Okay, so for this I am open here Microsoft Visual Studio 2008 IDLE, that is IDE, that is software integrated development environment. So this is a software for developing a project. So in this video we configure the database. Okay, so how we can configure the database? For configuring the database we need a server explorer tab. Okay, so how we can add the server explorer tab into the Visual Studio? So for this go to the view window. Okay, so go to the view menu, and from the view menu there is a server explorer menu is there. Click on this. So this is a server explorer window. Okay, so this window can be used to configure a database, or you can create a database from here. So how we can configure the database in Microsoft Visual Studio 2008? So configuring the database, select a data connection. Okay, right click on it and add a connection. If you have already created database, then click on the add connection, or suppose if you want to create a new SQL Server database, then click on the create a new SQL Server database. But here I am using add connection because I am already created a database. So click on the add connection. So from this you can select here Microsoft SQL Server. Okay, so this is select a data source as a Microsoft SQL Server, then continue. So here server name, that is a server name is nothing but our computer name. So my computer name is a admin PC. So write down here my server name as a admin PC. Okay, after adding the server name, connect to database. Okay, so select or enter a database name. So just click on it and this is our database, that is a student database. So select your student database and test the condition, okay, whether a database is properly configured or not. Click on the test connection. So whenever I click on the test connection, the message box is displayed and that says test connection is a success. So click on the OK and click on the OK. So here our database is configured in Microsoft Visual Studio. So click on the database, that is student database, and click on the tables. So this is our tables, okay. So right click on the login table and show table data. So this is our table data, okay. So this is username as admin and password as admin. So in this way you can configure a database in a Microsoft Visual Studio, okay. So in the next video session we will design our first form, that is welcome form. After the welcome form we design a login form, okay. So we will see in the next video. Thank you. Welcome back to the our new session. So in this session we will design a first, that is a welcome form. So how we can design the welcome form in Visual Studio? So most of the students are confused that how we can create a project, okay. So we are just developing a simple project. So in this project we will see how we can create a welcome form, login form, then create a registration form. So in the registration form we design, or we can perform the operations like insert, update, delete, select, and show the data from the database and print those data by using the crystal report. So for this purpose first we develop a welcome screen. So how we can develop the welcome screen? So for this purpose I am using a software called as a Microsoft Visual Studio 2008. So this is a software that is a Microsoft Visual Studio 2008. So in this in the Visual Studio, first you create a project. So I'm creating a project, a new project. So how we can create a new project in Visual Studio? Go to the file, then new, and the project. So select a name, or select a Visual C Sharp. Project type is a Visual C Sharp, and in the Visual C Sharp click on the Windows and click on the Windows. Provide a name, that is I am providing the name, that is a student registration project. So this is a student registration project. And location, so this so my location is, I am changing the location on the D drive, or provide a default location, okay. So click on the OK button. So this is a form. The Microsoft Visual Studio gives you a already designed form. By using this form, just you have to perform the designing and coding. For the designing purpose, the Microsoft Visual Studio provides you a toolbox. So this is a toolbox, and in the toolbox there are different types of toolbox are available. For example, the label control is there, link label is there, text box is there, okay. So button is there. So number of tools Microsoft Visual Studio provides you. So first we need to create a welcome form. When you create any project, the first thing is that to create a welcome screen. So how we can create a welcome screen? So this is my toolbox, okay. So this is my toolbox, and this is a solution explorer. So this is a solution explorer window. In this solution explorer window, all the project related files are present. So this is my form 1, okay. So this is my form 1. So I need some images, okay, for designing purpose. That's why I'm creating a new folder for the image. So I have already images. This is a collection of images. So this is a various collections of the images. Just I'm just copy the folder and paste it into our project. So this is a icon. So these are the various images, and the images is used in our project. So first, create a welcome screen. So how we can create a welcome screen? So this is our form, and just select the form and go to the properties window. So this is a form property window. These are the various properties windows of a form. Okay, so first property of window, that is first property of form, is that so you can change or form name. So I am not providing any form name to the this, so just you have to write that it's welcome. Okay, so start position of the form. So start position of the form, that is the center of the screen. Whenever our project is loaded, the form will open at the center of the screen. So this is a property, that is a start position. Then go to the next and go to the next property, that is a form border style. Okay, so this is a border style. So form border style, I am providing here a none. Okay, so my form border style is a none, means I am not providing any border to the form, means there is a no buttons, that is minimize, maximize and close buttons. So go to the next and back color. So back color, that is a form of back color. So my form back color, that is a control light. Okay, so this is my back color of form. So this is a properties of a form. So I am providing some properties, that is a these are the properties. And form border style, that is a none. Back color property, then it is a start position, that is the center of the screen. And text property, that is a welcome. So I am providing this type of settings in the form. So next that is the next thing, that is in the toolbox. From the toolbox, we need some picture. Okay, we need some images for the designing purpose. So in the toolbox, there is a predefined control, that is called as a picture box. Okay, so this is a picture box. For the picture box, for the I am changing the form border style, that is fixed a single for a designing purpose. And after the completing my designing, I change the form border style to none. Okay, so this is a picture box. The picture box control can be used to display the pictures. Okay, or it display pictures. So how we can add the pictures in the picture box control? So click on this cap. Okay, so click on this cap and choose image. Okay, so choose image and select the local resource, import, and where is your project folder, that is the icon. So I am providing the picture that is a so I am using this picture. Okay, so click on the OK, and the picture box contains image, but the image is not show properly. So for this purpose, we select a size mode. So size mode is a zoom. So okay, so this is our picture. So basically I am creating this project, that is a student registration project. And after the adding the picture box, we need another picture box. Okay, so I am drag and drop this picture box. So for the designing purpose, so make sure that your design is perfect. Okay, so add another picture, that is a choose image, then local resource, import, and select another picture, that is a so this is another picture box. Okay, so I am selecting this picture box, open and okay. So this is another picture box, and select a size mode, that is a zoom, or it is you can use also use. So these are the various types of size modes. So I am selecting this. So this is one of the picture box. Okay, so I am creating just a welcome form. So make sure that your design is perfect. Okay, so this is a welcome screen. Whenever you run this project, when you run, so how we can run the project? So just click here, start debugging, or just press F5 key. So whenever you press, so this is your design is look like this. So this is your welcome form. Another thing that is we need to add a progress bar. So it will show me the percentage, bro. Okay, so it will show me the percentage. So how we can add the progress bar or some information, that is for the information purpose I am using some labels. So how we can add the progress bar? So there is a progress bar, there is a predefined control that is called as the progress bar in the toolbox. Just drag and drop it. So I am drag and drop here progress bar. Okay, so this is my progress bar. So I am drag here above this picture box. So this is a progress bar. And what is the property, that is what is the name of progress bar? That is a progress bar 1. So this is a ID or name property of progress bar. Okay, so you can also set the minimum value and max value. So this is a maximum value, that is 100, and minimum value, that is a 0. So you can also set the maximum value or minimum value. Okay, so we need some information. For this information purpose, I am giving a predefined control, that is a label control, to show the information to the user. So I am drag label 1. So after dragging the label 1, click on the label, right click on the label 1 and go to the properties, and in the properties window change the property of label. So text property, so I am providing the text property of a label, that is the first property of label, that is a I am using some information, I am providing some information to the user. So for the label 1, okay, so change the value of label, that is some properties we need to change it label. So I am here, that is called loading. Okay, so this is a loading. Change the font size of label, that is a font property, that is font property bold 12. Okay, so this is a font property. We need to add another label, so just copy and paste it. So this is another label, and change the name, that is a we provide a same name to the this, and this is called as a starting. Okay, so starting up, so we will provide some information, that is a starting up. So you can change the color also, the font color also you can change. The for color property, that is a select the two label and go to the properties window. From the properties window go to the for color property, and the for color property choose whatever your color want. Just I'm using here a red color. So after save, control S, save the project and run. Okay, after running the project your form is look like this. Okay, so we initialize our progress bar. For the initialization progress bar we need a timer control. So in the toolbox or Microsoft Visual Studio provide you a timer control. For this purpose the timer control plays a very important role in project. So I am adding here a timer control, that is a just double click on the timer control and timer control will be added here. Okay, so after clicking the timer, the properties window of timer control is displayed. So name property, that is timer 1. So make sure that is a enabled, the timer enabled must, the by default the timer will be a false position, enabled false, so make it a true. So after loading your form the timer will be started. So make sure that your enabled property become a true. By default it is a false, but make it is a true. Okay, after creating this welcome form we need to add some code behind this form. So how we can add the code, or how we can add a code on which event? So we need to add a code on the timer tick event. So there is a event of a timer, that event is called as a tick event. So this is a timer tick event. On the timer tick event we need some code. Okay, so what is the code? Just write down the code. So first we need initialize some controls. Okay, so how we can write a code on the timer control? So make sure there is a timer tick event property of timer. On the tick event you need to make a code. Okay, so how we can add a code on a timer tick event? So first there is our a progress bar. Okay, so progress bar 1. So progress bar 1 dot, there is a property of progress bar, that is a value. So progress bar 1 dot a value is equal to this dot this dot means current progress bar 1 dot value is equal to plus 1. Okay, after every, the progress bar value will be incremented by 1. So assign this value to the label 1. Okay, so this is our label 1. So this is our loading, that is a id property of loading is a label 1. So add this result to the label 1. So label 1 dot text contain, so what is the text content, equal to, in the double quotation, and give the semicolon. So in the double quotation we need to add this loading. Okay, loading. So in the loading we need to add, that is a, we need to add this code in the progress bar 1. So in the double quotation plus plus, so this dot progress bar 1 dot value. So this is a progress bar 1 dot value. Okay, so after loading, this is a give us a loading. Okay, so next code that is check the progress bar value reaches to 100, means whenever our progress bar reaches to 100%, open a new form, means login form. So how we can open the login form? For this purpose we need to add another more form in our project. So how we can add a form? Go to the solution explorer, this is our form 1. We need to add another form. So how we can add a new form in our project? So just right click on the student project, right click, add Windows form. So this is a Windows form and gives the name, that is frm. So I am providing here frm login.cs and press on the add button. So this is another form. Okay, whenever our progress bar reaches to 100%, then this login form will be displayed. So for this purpose we need to create a code. So how we can check our progress bar value? So there is a condition, use the conditional statement. If progress bar 1 dot value becomes, if progress bar 1 dot value become double equal to, it become 100, then open the another form. So how we can open the another form in C#.NET? First our timer a timer 1 dot, there is a property enabled, is equal to false. Okay, so timer stop. First we need to stop the timer. So we stop the timer. Then after the timer we open the login form. For the opening the login form, first create object of login. Okay, so this is our form frm login. I am creating a object as a login, is equal to new frm login. So this is a creation of object. Okay, after creating the object login dot, so login dot, there is a property called as login dot show dialog. To open a new form in a C#.NET, you can use a method called show dialog for opening the new form. So after opening the form, hide this form, that is a this dot hide. This dot hide means a current form will be hide. So this is a code to open a new form and hide a current form. Whenever our progress bar value reaches to 100, this form will be shown, that is login form will be shown and current form will be hide. So check the condition. So check the next condition, that is if check the condition, that is a progress bar 1 dot value become a 5. Progress bar 1 dot value become 5. So provide us some information to the user, that is a label 2. So this is our label 2 contain a text sum equal to, so label 3 contain, or label 2 contain some text or some information to the user, that is I am providing some information to the user, that is a loading a form. Okay, some information, loading forms. So this is informations. Okay, so in the next okay, so there is another, that is else if provide another information to the user, that is a progress bar 1 dot value double equal to it become a 10. So provide us another information, that is a else if. So label 2 dot text, I am copying the same text and paste it. Okay, so in this information I am writing connecting to the database. So these are the information. So it look like something software connecting to a database. So another, that is same, I am copying here, same copy and paste it. So another information, that is a launching enrollment system. So this is the information whenever our project is loading, launching environment system. Okay, so this is some information or predefined information to the users. And the last one, that is a change the value, that is a progress bar value. Suppose this progress bar value become 50, and the last information, that is a control copy and paste it. And so after becoming the 70%, and provide the user to information, that is called please wait. So this is a information to the user, and write down here the percentage symbol. Okay, so this is a percentage. So after write down, this is a code to creating a welcome form. After writing this code, just run the form. Okay, so how we can run the form? Go to the start debug or F5, click. So this is our welcome screen, that is a look like this, and our progress bar is become. So this is a value and this is the information changing. After completing the 100%, it will show us a login form, but the previous form is not hide. Okay, the previous form still displaying us. So how we can hide the previous form? So let's check the code. So this dot hide, this method called first and show the login dot show dialog, then none. So run again the project and see, this is our welcome form. So this is our welcome form. So in this way you can create a welcome form in the C#.NET. So this is our login form. Okay, so in the next session we will design a login form. Okay. Welcome back to this session. In the last session we designed a welcome form, but in the last session we forget to change the property, that is a form property. So go to the form property and change the form border style to the none property. So this is, we forget to change this property. Run the project and see the output. So this is our a welcome form. Okay, so this is our welcome form, look like this. This is welcome form. When the progress bar reaches to the 100%, it will show the login form. So in this session, in this video session, we will design the login form. So how we can design the login form? Let's check. Go to the Visual Studio and go to the form. So this is our form. So first change the properties of this form. So right click here and go to the properties window. So this is a properties window. Change a form, that is a first change the property of form, that is a text property login. Start position, that is the center of the screen. Then form border style. So form border style is a fixed tool. So form border style is a fixed tool window, only there is a close button is there. So after changing the form border style fixed tool window, then go to the next property, that is a next property of form, that is a background image. So this is a background image property. So select a background image. So I have already a collection of images. So this is okay. So these are the some images, but so go to the our project and open folder in Window Explorer. So this is our project folder. Copy the link and go to the properties window and change the background image, that is a background image. So this is a property background image. Select local resource and go to the our project folder. So this is our project folder, and in the project folder, so I need some background image. So I am selecting this master head, that is a background image. So open it. Okay, so this is a background color. So this is a background image. So for the login form purpose, I am using a two label, two text box, two buttons, one picture box. So design the form. So how we can design the form? For the designing purpose, Microsoft Visual Studio provide you a predefined tool or predefined control. So from the predefined control, I am using, that is the first I am using here, I am making a group of each control. So this is a group box. So this is a group box. I am placing here the group box and change the properties of this group box. So first property, that is a text property. So this is I am changing, that is a login and background. So this is a background. Okay, so background image. So background image I am providing. Okay, sorry, so there is a no background image. So back color, so I am changing the back color as a transparent. Okay, so back color I am changing the transparent, so it will look like this. So after creating, this is a group box, I am creating another group box, that is a copy and paste it. So these are the two group box. So you will understand why I am taking the two group box. So I am making a group of controls, that's why I am using the group box. Okay, so this is a group box. So in the first group box, add the two labels. So how we can add the labels? There is a control or called label control. Just drag and drop here, label first and label second. So these are the two labels. Okay, so you can add just one label and make it copy. So change the property of label. Select the label and go to the properties window and change the text property, that is first, that is username. So this is a username. Change the font property. Make sure that the control have a same font property. All control have the same font property. So I am using the 10 bold. Okay, so copy it and paste it. Copy it and paste it. This is for username and this is label for the password. So I am write down here the password. Okay, after creating a labels, you need to take a user input. For the user input, we use generally we use a text boxes. So these are the text box control. Just drag and drop it. Okay, for the first text box, that is for the username, and copy paste it. So second text box, that is for the password. So these are the two text boxes I am taking here. So change the properties of first text box. So first text box property, that is change the name property. So I am providing the name property of first text box, that is txt id or txt username. So this is my txt stands for text username, and change the font property to the 10. And same way, the second text box I am providing the name property as a txt password, and provide the font property, that is a 10, and assign another one property to make a password encrypted, that is a password char. So I am using here a star. Okay, so this is a star, means our password will be encrypted in the form of star, means our password is not visible to the other users. So this is a two control. Okay, so make sure that the design is perfect, means line by line. So check here. So for inside behind this we need add a one picture box. So I'm drag a picture box here. Okay, so I'm drag and place here picture box. So how we can add the picture box? Just click on this cap, choose image from the local resource. So I'm adding here picture, that is a login icon. Okay, and change the size mode, that is a zoom. So this is our login. Okay, it look like something login, means our software, our project is looking like a software. That's why I'm creating this designing. Okay, so after this is our first group box. Okay, so in the after adding this we need to add a link label. Okay, so this is a link label, and just I'm drag and drop here and change the name or text property, that is a forget password. So this is a forget password, and font 10 bold. Okay, so this is a link label, and provide the name property and id property, that is link forget. So this is a name. Whenever the user click on the link forget password, we recover our password. After creating or after designing the login form, we need to add or we need to perform some event. For the event handling, we add two button. So this is a button control. First button control, that is I am here drag and drop here button. So this is button 1. So this is a button 1 for the login, and we can add the same button 2, that is for the exit, or this is a button 1 button 2. So these are the buttons. Make sure that the design is perfect. So button 1, I am selecting the button 1 and change the property of button 1. First change the id property. So I am changing here btn. So my first button is for the login, button login. After login button, change the font. So font, it will be bold 9. So this is button 1, and change the text, that is my first button is for the login. Okay, so you can also add the background image behind the button. So how we can add the background image? So just select the button, go to the properties window and go to the background image. So this is a background image property. Click on the local resource import, and I am selecting the same background color for the button, that is a mustard head. So okay, so this is a background image layout, stretch. Okay, so zoom, these are the various properties, but I am using here a type. We can in this way you can select background color also for the buttons. Okay, you can also add image or text. You can also add image or text. So how we can add the image on button? How we can add the image on the button? just go to the button and go to the properties window. Select here, there is a property of a button, and that button property is called as the image property. So this is an image property. Go to the select image, local resource, import, and you can select the image. So these are the various images. So I am selecting here apply.png image. Okay, again okay. So you can add the image, but it overlays the image on the text. So how we can solve this problem? I want to show image as well as text. So for this purpose, there is another property of button control, that is a button that is called as a text image relation property. So text image relation property, select image before text. Okay, so this is a image before text. So image as well as there is a text. So in the same way for the button 2, go to the property that is a first btn, there is a called exit. So I am providing here the button id property that is exit. Go to the text, I am write down the here exit. Okay, so background image, so this is the background image property, that is a background image. So go to the local resource, import, and in the import, from the import, go to the this background image. I am selecting here. Okay, so I am adding the background image. Change the font, so I am a bold 9. Okay, so font, and use the image. So for the image, go to the image property, image, local resource, import, and this is the I am choosing this the image, close. Okay, so okay, and go to the again text image relation property to the image before the text. Okay, so in this way you can design the login form. So this is a designing of login form. So in this way you can design the login form. Okay, select the group box. I want to hide this login. Okay, so this is a hide of login. After saving and run the project, so see, this is our welcome form. After progress bar reaches to the 100%, it will show you the login form. So this is our login form. So in this way you can design the login form, and just write down the login. Suppose I am providing here username as Ajinkya and password 12345. Okay, after creating the user on, or after clicking on the login button, our next form, that is a form will be displayed. So this is a designing, and after the designing we have to write some code for the login. So how we can write a login code, we will see in the next video session. Okay, so thank you. Welcome back to this video session. The last video session, we learn how we can design the login form. So this is our login form. Okay, so in this way you can design, or you can design the login form. So in this video session, we will see how we can write a code on the click event of login button. Okay, so how we can check the username from the database, and if that username is exist in the database or password exists in the database, then it will show our next form, that is called as a home screen or our main screen. So for this purpose we already created a database. So database are present in the server explorer window. Okay, so this is our database, and our database name is a student database. So in the student database there are two tables, that is the first table is table login, and second table is called as table registration. So we already created a database. So in the login table, just I am expand here, there are three attributes are there, that is the three columns are there, that is ID, username and password. Okay, so how we can write a code and how we can check the username and password are exist with database. So for this purpose we need some code and we need some SQL queries. Okay, so first add one form. Go to the Solution Explorer window and go to our project, right click here, add new form, so Windows form. So I am adding here window form and provide the name, that is frm. So this is our main form, so frm.cs. That is a C# file. So click on the add button. When the username and password are matches with the database, then it will show you this form. Otherwise it will display the error message to the user, please check username and password. So how we can write a code on the login button? So for handling the event in the C#, just double click on this button, or just double click on any control. You can directly switch on that event. Okay, so just I am double click on the login button, so it will directly goes to the event, and the button has a event, that is a click event. Okay, so this is a click event. Button has a click, means whenever the user click on the button, there something action is performed. So we need, or we write a code on this click event. Okay, so for communicating with the database, or for communicating with SQL database, so in this project I am using SQL Server database. Okay, so I need to communicate with SQL Server database. That's why I need some library or some external library, and that library is called as. Okay, so first you need to install, or you need to import a library. So in the C# you can import the library by using the keyword using. Okay, so system dot data. If you want to communicate with the SQL Server, then there is a library called as SQL client. Okay, so you need this a library, because in the SQL client there are some classes, and by using that classes you can communicate with a database. Okay, so first you need to import, and in the C# you can import the external libraries by using the keyword using. Okay, so this is a first way. Second thing, you need to create or establish a connection with a database. So how we can establish a connection to the database? For establishing a connection to the database, we need a connection string. So how we can take a connection string? Watch it carefully. First you need to get a connection string. You need to establish a path with a database. So for establishing a path to the database, there is a class present, that is a SQL connection, and create the object, that is I am creating the object con is equal to new SQL connection. So this is a SQL connection class that can be used to establish a connection with a database and your project. So in the double quotation you need to pass a connection string. So how you can pass the connection string? Let's watch it carefully. Go to the Server Explorer, go to the database. So this is our database. Okay, so right click on it, go to the properties, and properties. In the properties there is a connection string is there. Okay, so this is a connection string. Just double click, copy and paste it. So this is a connection string. So it means it shows that, or it will provide information, that is you can now able to communicate with a database. So this is called as the connection string. Okay, so this is a SQL connection class, and I am providing, that is con object. So second thing, after establishing a connection with a database, you need to perform some command. So for the performing the command, there is a one class is present. That class is called as SQL command. So this is a SQL command. Just I am creating the object, that is a CMD. Okay, so these are the two classes we will require. So there are some other classes also. We will discuss one by one later. Okay, so for the first thing, check the text box is empty or not. Okay, if the text box is empty, then prompt the user, that is please enter the username, please enter the password. So how we can check the check boxes is empty or not? So for this purpose, just write down the code, that is if. Okay, so if there is a condition, if, so how we can check the condition? If there is a property called a string dot is null or empty, is null or empty. What is null or empty? So is null or empty, so pass here our first text box name, that is a txt username dot text, and provide again one and use the bracket. Okay, if this text username is empty, if the text username is empty, then give the message to the user. That is how we can provide the message to the user. There is a class called messagebox.show. So this is a method. By using this method, you can provide a message to the user. So please enter the username. Okay, so please enter the username. This is the first parameter. Second parameter, name on the message box. So name on the message box, that is I am providing here the name, that is information. Then third parameter it required, that is a message box button type. Okay, so I am providing button here. Okay, and last, that is a message box icon property, that is a message box icon property, and provide the icon, that is I am providing information. Okay, and focus cursor to the that text box. So how we can focus, how we can blink a cursor on that particular text box? That is a txt, our text box name is a txt username, and there is a method called focus method. So our cursor will blink on that cursor. Okay, on that text box. Same condition for the else if. Okay, so same condition for the else if string dot. Okay, so string dot is null or empty, that is our second text box, that is called as text password dot text. So this is a text property, and in the text property you can provide again same, so copy paste. So I am copying and paste it. Okay, so change here text password, and please enter password. So this is the password. Okay, so in this way you can check if your text box is filled or empty or not. If empty, then prompt the user with a message box. Okay, else otherwise, if your both text box are filled some text, if your both text box are contain some text, then you can provide other information. Okay, so next step is that open the connection. So how we can open the connection? There is a property called as connection.open. Okay, so first you need to open the connection with your database. After opening the connection, you have to pass some command. So how we can pass the command? Okay, so how we can pass the command? That is we have already created a SQL command object, that is a cmd. So cmd is equal to new SQL command, and the SQL command can be used to pass the command to the database. So how we can write here SQL command? So how we can write here SQL query? So the SQL query is like, that is a select. So what is the our field? The table field contain username and password. Okay, so select username comma password from table name. So what is our table name? So what is our table name? Table login. Just go to the, just copy table login from table login. Okay, so select username password from table login, where condition, where where username is equal. So how we can get a value from the text box here? So just watch carefully. Single quotation, double quotation, plus plus. So in the plus plus, first our text box is a txt username dot text. Okay, again, and select username password from table login, where username and password, that is a password, is equal to, again single quotation, double quotation, plus plus, and here write down the txt password dot text. So this is our second text box, and it required the last parameter, that is a connection object. Okay, so in this way you can fire the command to the database. If our username and password are correct, so read the data from the database. So how we can read the data from the database? So there is a class present in C#, that is called as a SQL a data reader. So this is a data reader. It can be used to read a single value. So I am creating SQL data reader dr. Okay, so dr is equal to cmd dot execute a reader. So execute reader can be used to execute this command. Okay, so it will execute only single record, or SQL cmd dot execute reader can be used to execute this command. There is another method that is called as a execute non-query. So this command will see in the next video session. The execute non-query command can be used with insert, update, and delete. For the select purpose, you have to use the execute reader command. Okay, whenever you use the select statement, you can use the execute reader. Okay, so as SQL data reader dr is equal to cmd dot execute a reader. So check if there is a record is present or not. Okay, so how we can check? If data reader means dr dot, there is a read, if data is present. Okay, so if data is present, then what should I have to do? Open the new form. So how we can open the new form? First create a form object. So our form name, that is frm main. I am creating the object, that is a main is equal to new frm main. So I am creating here a form object of main form. So write down, close the previous form, that is a this dot hide, means login form will close, and show the next form, that is a main dot, there is a method called, if you want to show the another form, there is a method called show dialog method. If our username and password are matches with a database, then it will display a main form. Okay, so otherwise it will display us you can use else part. So how we can use else part? So this is our if else. Okay, so else part, else you can write down here message, that is else. What you have to message you can provide the message that is called as username and password are not valid, username and password are not valid. So you can provide this message and focus the cursor on the txt username, and after completing this close the connection whenever you open the connection. Okay, so you can open the connection, and finally close dr, means data reader dot close and connection dot close. So connection dot close. After completing your operation, you need to close your database as well as a data reader. Okay, so this is a code. So this is a code. Whenever user click on the login button, it will check first database. So in our database, open the database, that is open the table, tbl login, select, right click on it, and show table data. So in our database, there is a username as admin and password is also admin. So write down, run the project and see whether it works or not. Okay, So after this is a form, and I am providing here password admin, username as admin, and password admin 12 I am using, and check it will throw me a error or not. Okay, invalid column name, that is a password. Okay, so there is a mistake. Here is a triple S is there. Okay, I remove the one. Again, save the project and run. So invalid column, so this column is not present in a database or table. So I am using here admin, and password is also admin 12 I am using here, and see, username and password are not valid. Okay, so my password is a admin, and click on the login button. So it will display me a message called, it will display me a next form, that is a welcome, that is a home screen, or this is a home form. Okay, so in this way you can design a form, or you can design a login code. Okay, so this is a code. You need to first establish, or first you need to add the library. That library is called as SQL client, and after adding the SQL client you need to establish a connection, that is by using the SQL connection class. You can fire the command by using the SQL command. There is another class, and read a data from a database, then you can use the SQL data reader. So SQL data reader and execute a reader. So this execute reader can be used with a select statement. Okay, so how we can add a code for the exit button? So this is exit button. Okay, so just double click on it and go to the button exit code. So how we can code on the exit button? Okay, so before exiting, it will show a message to the user, that is do you want to close this form? Okay, so this type of message this type of message shows to the user. So how we can do this task? For this purpose I am using here a dialog result. Okay, so this is a dialog result. Just go to here, so I am using here a dialog result. Okay, so after dialog result I am creating the object, that is a result. Okay, so my dialog result I am creating is equal to, okay, so is equal to, I am using message box dot show. This is a message box dot show. First, in the message box dot show, prompt the user, that is a do you want to close the, do you want to close CLOSE, do you want to close? Okay, if user yes, then close it. So second parameter, name of the message box, that is the information. Third parameter, it required button type, that is a message box dot buttons. So I am using here button type, that is a S no type. Okay, if user click on the S, the application will be exit. If user click on the no, the application will remain the same. So last, that is called as message box buttons and icon. So icon, that is a give me the information or question type. Okay, so I am asking the question to the user, so icon type is a question. Then check if, again check condition, if our result, okay, so our result double equal to dialog result s, check our result is equal to s, then close the application. So how we can close the application? There is a class called application dot exit. So this is a class, that is application dot exit. Okay, so else, if not else, focus the cursor focus the cursor to the username text box. So there is a method called focus to focus the cursor or blink the cursor in the username. Okay, so this is a code. So let's run it and see the output. After running, Okay, write down here admin, and password is also admin. Okay, and click on the login. It will log in. Suppose I want to exit the application, so after clicking on the exit, it will ask me the message that do you want to close. If I press S, the application is exit. If I want to know, the cursor will be blink on the username text box. Okay, so again I am clicking the exit. Do you want to close? Yes. So in this way you can handle a code on the exit button. So this is a complete login form. So in this way you can create a login form and code. Okay, so in the next video session we will design a home form. Welcome back. In the last session we learned how we can write a code to the login form. So in this session we will see how we can create our main form, that is a home screen form. For designing the home screen form, this is our home screen, that is FRM main. Go to the it's a property. First change the form property, that is a change first text, that is a this is our main form. Okay, so main form. So Windows state, this is another property. Windows state, whenever our form is load, it is displayed in the maximized mode. So Windows state should be changed, that is maximized. So there is another property that is called here background image. So this is a background image. Click here, local resource, import, and choose our background image, that is a master head dot. This is our background image. Okay, so this is our home background image. So these are the some properties. Okay, so after adding some properties, add some control to on a form. So for this purpose, first I am adding a control, that is I want to add here a tool strip menu. Okay, so this is a tool strip menu. Just double click here, and this is a tool strip menu. Okay, so design the tool strip menu. I need four menu. For the first menu, that is add student detail. Second menu, that is a search student detail. Third menu, that is a print a report, and the fourth menu, that is a exit. So I required these four buttons. So for this purpose I am taking here a tool strip control. Okay, so this is a tool strip control. So in the tool strip control you can add the button labels. Okay, so drop down button, combo box, text box, progress bars, you can add these types. Okay, so this is a button, so I need to add a button. Just I'm clicking the button. So after clicking the button, right, just select this button and go to the properties window. So this is a properties window. So our tool strip button one, so this is a name id property. So you can change, that is a tool strip button 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 for the add. So add student detail. After this property you have to change the next property, that is auto size property, that is false. Okay, after that you need to add a font property. So this is a font property, font, and it is a bold and 10 pixel. After selecting the font property, display style, this is another property. You can use only image, you can display only image, but I want to display the image as well as the text. So this is a property called image and the text. After this property, go to the image property and select the image. Okay, go to the local resource, click on the import, and for the import, for the adding, so I am using this image, that is a add. Okay, so add png, open. Okay, for selecting, this is another, and there is another property called as the size property. Okay, so this is a size property. Before size property, there is a called text image relation. So this is a text image relation, image about text. So this is image about text, and change the width. That is, I am using the width, suppose I am using the 70 width, or you can also increase width as per your requirement. Suppose I am using 100, and height it should be 100. Okay, so 100 is more, you can change as per your requirement. So I am using here the 60. Okay, so width it should be the 100, or you can change as per your requirement. So image about text, so change the text. So for button 1, add details. So this is can be used to add the details of a student. Okay, so these are the properties you can same use. Okay, so I am provide a separator between the buttons. For providing the separators, click on here, add tool strip button, click on here and select the separator. So it will add a separator between the buttons. So just copy the button, previous button, and click here and paste it. So this is our second button. Okay, so change the properties of second button, that is a tool strip button 1, and this button can be used for the search, search, for the search student, and change the text, that is search student. So search student, and change the image, that is a go to the image, import from the local resource and find out here the search. So this is a search find. So this is a search image, open it. Okay, so this is a search. Again add the separator here. So click on the separator, click on this button and copy the button and paste it again. Okay, so this is our third button, and it display means this button can be used for printing the student report. So I'm use here print, so a report. Okay, so this is can be used for the printing the report, and change the image. So go to the image, import, and for here I'm using the notebook.png. Okay, so this is for the printing purpose. So this is image is for the printing. Again add the separator. So this is the separator, and click on this button, copy it and here paste it. So this is our last button, and this last button can be used for the exit purpose. So go to the properties, change the text. So where is the text? So this is the text, and click on the exit. Okay, and change the button or image, that is go to the this and find out there is a exit is there, as exit png is there. So this is a exit, and this can be used for the exit purpose. Okay, so in this way I am adding 3 buttons. Okay, so this is called as a tool strip or tool strip control. Okay, so I am adding here some image here. So for the image, you can, if you want to add the image, the Visual Studio provide you the picture box control. So just a drag and drop picture box control. Okay, and select the picture box, go to the properties, and after going to the properties, first change the dock property to the center. Okay, so this is the center, click the center. Means dock property can be used whenever your form is resized, and suppose your form is maximized, the picture box will automatically fit on that form. So choose image, go to the local report, import, and there is icons, and use this again picture. Okay, and change it as a zoom. Okay, so this is our main form designing. Okay, so this is called main form designing. So in this way you can design our main form. So let's run the project and see how our form look like. First, your welcome message or your welcome form. After welcome form, it will shows you the login form. So provide the username and the password and click on the login button, and this is your form. This is our main form. Okay, so these are the menus: search, add details, search student, print report, and exit. So in this way you can design the main form. So in the next video session we will learn how we can create a registration form and how we can perform the operations like insert, update, delete with a database.